Hello and welcome back to Chaosbane. Last time, Marguerite here sent me into a tomb to get a bunch of scrolls to not stop Nebmakhet, but weaken him. And now we get to see what she had to decipher them, so now we get to see what she learned from them.
I've managed to translate the binding spell. There is just one more thing we need before it can be put to use.
What is it?
It's a special amulet that was worn by the High Priest of Djaf, the god of death. I can show you where to find Djaf's temple. Get the amulet and get back here as quickly as you can. Nebmakhet is growing stronger by the moment.
Okay, get an amulet. Love how it's just entered Nebmakhet's tomb again. Between episodes, I have cranked the difficulty to Chaos 3, so we're 2 difficulties higher. As you can see, things actually take a few hits before dying. And then I ran a boss rush, which only put me against one boss, so that was a little boring. Paid a good amount of gold for that, which was a real disappointment. And then I did a relic hunt on Chaos 3, my usual Nurgle incursion with a ton of stuff. It's a lot of stuff like, if I stand still I take damage, if enemy champions are stronger, demonic portals spawn, and if I use a potion, my health gets permanently reduced. But by doing that, I got a few replacement pieces of gear, but I still don't have any fancy full sets. I'm still just rocking fairly basic stuff. I mean, I'd love to get some of these crazy sets to rock, but the game just hasn't seen fit to give me any of that. Which is fine, you know, I'm making do as is. I'm not struggling. The guys are a little bit tankier, but even with all those penalties during the relic hunt, I still was able to survive just fine. Just means like my bramble move isn't as good as it could be. No, I'm actually going to take a second. Can I replace that with anything? Mastered Brambles. Really don't want to do the spiral cut again. I mean, I could... I don't really need that. Living Roots. I mean... I think 'cause a lot of this stuff isn't that good. Like, yeah, I could throw some traps down. I don't care. The stuff I'm actually interested in is stuff like the god abilities, but I don't have access to any more of those because I don't get any more points. I don't know if it's supposed to be like, oh, the further down a tree you get some cool stuff, because there really wasn't anything that screamed, I need this, outside of what I grabbed. Like, my tornado is cool, but that and my little sacred ground trick are all I need. I don't need any of the other stuff, because it really disrupts my build. I just want a little extra damage output, because I don't As nice as poison is, I don't like relying on it too heavily in games like this. Mostly because in any game like this, they usually make it so poison kinda sucks. It's kinda like in a Souls game, you can never do a bleed or a poison build because a good 90% of the bosses are immune anyways. Which on one hand, you know, I always understood basic game design, you know, you don't want... People are going to go path of least resistance and you don't want to give them, like, an absolute least resistance. But you gotta accept you can't cripple certain things to the point where no one wants them. Otherwise, it's just a waste. Stop reanimating the skeletons I already beat. It's rude. Here's something unexpected. This guy's actually tanky. No, go back to sleep. Or don't. Okay. Oh well, more XP for me. I can just boost that, making enemies take more damage ability even harder. Which has kind of been my goal at this point, is just to stack that as much as possible. Because you can get it over... At least from what I've seen, I can get it to do over like a 30% chance to trigger. So it's like, okay, I would assume 99 points or 100 points max on each ability. So that would give me a good amount of leeway to work with. Good amount of damage potential. Because I'm almost at like 15% damage taken, and that's 15% increased damage from me for 5 seconds. And I mean, you look at how many hits all my abilities can proc within 5 seconds. You know, 15% of all that added on, that's not bad. It's definitely not something to ignore. Where are the guardians? I just have skeletons everywhere. That's how you melt one of those guys. Okay, so we have the exit. And I have yet to find any of the guardians. Oh yeah, I think I still have the ability where when enemies who are poisoned take poison damage, they explode with poison damage to anyone near them. I think I still have that active. I hope I do, because I love that. It's kind of a cheap trick, but anything to boost my DPS at this point. Bone pit. Everybody get in here. Ooh, 3 shop teeth. lot of orange gear I'm not too interested in. Ah, not even a red. I mean, I can't sit here and expect all top tier loot, but I was kind of hoping with 2 chaos bumps up, I'd be getting a bit more, just a bit more loot, or a bit better loot. I love having so many visual effects going on at once, and so many damage numbers that my game starts to slow down. It's a little bit of sarcasm in that, but also, it's just kind of nice to see that much damage output. Just kind of sucks it's spread across, you know, a dozen enemies. This game needs a use for gold. I pay for all my modifiers and boss rush and stuff, but it's not enough. You know, the game goes, oh, for like what I had said I run. The game sits there and is like, oh, it's 40,000 gold. Well, I can pull 40k easy. Especially on this difficulty, I can do that very easily. That's not a concern. I mean, that was 400 gold, this is 600. Right there, okay, 1/40 of the way through after killing a handful of random enemies. I see 2 more piles of gold. $600, 100, okay, 1,700 gold. I think I just got a bunch right there. You know, it's just not that challenging. Okay. I don't know why it had to inform me of that. Oh, that's where the amulet is. Didn't really look like an amulet, it looked like just a giant scarab beetle. I will say though, it's a bit more interesting than the portal things you do in Diablo 3. As much as I enjoyed those, there was nothing to them. It was just, oh, nuke your way through this entire room and, you know, it was a time trial. A glorified time trial. And you know, it worked. I still did them. It's just, you know, they're pretty plain.
got the amulet. Time to get back to camp.
I think I'll leave the difficulty where it is, though. Because unless I start really crushing it, I think this is a good kind of difficulty to sit at.
Is this the amulet, Marguerite?
It is. Now we have everything we need. If you have any preparations to make, do so now. Even with the binding spell, Nebmakhet will be a powerful and dangerous foe. Return to me when you're ready, and we will make our way to the crypt.
Alright, that's all for now. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit the like button, it helps out the channel a lot. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.